Hi, my name is Dr. Ali. Welcome to Foreign MD, where we share stories and experiences of foreign trained medical graduates who were able to navigate the rigorous transition process at every level. These stories are meant to inspire and encourage you. Stay tuned. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Foreign MD. I'm so excited to have you on today. I'm your host, Dr. Ali, and I have with me Dr. Harry, and I'm so glad to have him here today. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a guest. And as you know, this is Foreign MD, where we interview foreign medical doctors who were able to successfully transition from wherever they trained to practice in a different state or different country from where they initially trained. And we just share their story, share their experiences so we can gain some valuable knowledge and insight. So Dr. Harry, could you please introduce yourself to us?
Hi, Ali. Yes, how are you? Thank you so much for having me today. Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm Harry Nima Zegarra. I'm a pulmonary and critical care doctor now, practicing here full time in Dallas Fort Worth in Texas, and we're originally from Peru, South America.
Okay, awesome. So did you do your medical, so I guess you trained in Peru before coming here?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Okay, awesome. So at what point in time did you make the decision that you wanted to come to the States to practice?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it was interesting because, like, I didn't know I wanted to practice in the U.S. until late in my medical school. And when I was training in medical school, like some of my friends, they had the idea already of coming here. Like, so
Yeah.
I would see them like sometimes like in the summers to come here to the U.S. to do some rotations here. And I didn't have an idea what they were doing. I mean, also, I mean, like it doesn't help that I mean, like I'm the first generation who went to college in my family, right? Like I'm the
Wow.
first like physician in my family. So I mean, like that was part of the thing. So yeah, so it didn't happen until the end, like right, like so we were finishing already medical school. We were in the process already of doing the 1 year that we do for serving your country in Peru.
Okay.
Right, like, and I heard like many of my friends already applying, like, and taking the test and coming for interviews to the U.S. So I got more interested in that. So after that, I decided to start studying to come here.
Oh, wow. So being a first generation, that must have taken a lot of thought and process because you're basically coming to a new place where you don't have any family, you don't have pretty much anyone. You're the one pretty much breaking ground over there. So, when you told your family members, what was your response to that?
Yeah, no. So when I told them at home, and in South America, it's a little bit different than in the U.S. So in South America, we usually stay at home and live it like with our parents until like older age, right? Like until we're 30 or
That's kind of how it is in
mid-30s.
Nigeria too. They do that in Nigeria too.
Right. Yes. So I mean, like I told them actually, like so I lived with my mom around that time and my sister, and they were excited actually. Like they really wanted me to come and do training in a better place with more like the resources and to have like the best training like in the world, right? So yeah, no, they were very supportive like with me. I mean, of course, it was something. We were anxious about that, about like the change. I mean, it's a change of mindset also. Like again, you're going to a completely new place with no family, and even though I had friends who were coming here already, I mean, like nothing was going to tell me that I was going to train with them, like at all, right? Like so, it was it was interesting.
Okay. So we do like a 6-year med school. How is it like in Peru? Like, what's your training course over there?
In Peru, it's usually 7 years, right? Like so, it's different than here in the U.S., right? Like where you have like high school, and after high school you go to college, and then you decide like you go to college for 3 or 4 years, and then you decide if what else you want to do. In Peru, you go straight like to medical school, right? Like so you take, I mean, all the basic science and all of that as part of the career in medicine. So and that's why it takes like the 7 years.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of the same in Nigeria. So you're done with, make sure you're done with med school. How long did it take you to actually take your boards and do all that before even coming here?
Yes, yes. So like as I was telling you, right? Like so we just decided like I just like decided like to come to the US after finishing my medical school. So at the beginning I was not completely sure that I was going to make it, right? Like so I did also like the 1 year that we do for our to serve our country after
Yeah.
we're trained, right? Like so we usually go to underserved areas or like to help people, right? Like
Yeah.
as general practitioners. So I was doing that in part, and also was doing part-time studying like for the boards, right? Like and also like to get a little bit more money or save more money to take the test and to come to the
Yeah.
US also to do the clinical skills and like around that time,
Yeah.
right? Like so, I mean, like it was an experience, right? Like so, like it took me about like 3 years, right? Like
Mhm.
to take all the tests, like between working there and taking like the test and
Studying.
preparing like my English also to come to the US because also that's also another difference, right? So
Yeah.
like in Peru we speak Spanish and like and everything is Spanish, like including like the medical school.
Yeah.
So it's also like a challenge when you're trying to come here. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you took your exam in 3 years. So you at that time you applied for the boards, you applied for residency in Peru?
No, no, no. And the reason was because I knew already, I mean, I was taking already all the steps to come to the US. So I was very focused on coming here already.
Okay.
And
I
it took
mean, you
me,
applied for a residency position over there here, like when you're
yes,
trying to match.
yes,
Okay.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So so it was 3 years, and I applied on the third year, even though it was kind of late already. So I took my clinical skills kind of late. I think like I believe in November, and we didn't get the results until January or February. So even though I was applying that year, I was kind of late already.
Yeah.
So and unfortunately, I didn't match like the first time. So but that gave me like another idea, like again, like to take like the step three. So my CP was going to be more competitive around
Yeah.
that time now.
Okay. So you took your step three and then you applied the following year. And did you match? And was it a specialty of your choice?
Yes, yes, yeah. I mean, like I knew that I wanted to do internal medicine, and I knew that I liked pulmonary,
Okay.
but I haven't been that exposed to critical care in my country. So that's
Yeah.
why in my first year in internal medicine residency, I did actually 2 rotations in ICU. But kind of crazy, but yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, so when you started, so you come into the States that first year, how was that transition for you? Like, did you just adapt? Like, you got into your residency program, was everything, the training, your first year, like, was it similar to your training in Peru, the interactions? And give us
Yeah.
some background as to what that looked like for you.
Yeah, it's very different. It is very different, challenging. There are a lot of new things. I mean, you can understand coming from a third world country,
Yeah.
just like the resources, the tests, the type of interaction, also how you deal with patients, right? Like in South America, I'm not sure how it's in other parts of the world, but we have a very paternalistic type of medicine,
Yep.
right? Like so we try to relief from the pain of bad news to the elderly and trying to talk with the younger people, and sometimes like the younger people are the ones who take like the decisions for the other people,
Yeah.
right? Like so, and like in here in the US we practice full transparency, right? Like
Yep.
and and again like that was a part of difficult also. I mean absolutely right, like the English was a problem like at the beginning,
Yeah.
right? Like and I remember like my level of English when I was in Peru, like I thought like, oh, I mean I'm good in English. I'm great in English. And then like you come to the US and then you really struggle, right? Like even like to take a cab or something. You really struggle. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like they were very nice and very understandable. I mean, like I always cherish the place where I went to residency. Right, I was
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania. So they were really supportive, like with me, and because of that, I mean, I was able like to go through the first year with no problems, right? Like so, but still, right? Like I mean, you can understand, like I mean, like it was like a big change.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. And I think that's so important that when you have a program that is supportive, and it kind of understands that, okay, you're coming from a different place, a different accent,
Mm.
try to catch up with the flow of things, because it would have been difficult for you if you had gone into a program and didn't have that support. You probably would have felt left out. So I'm glad that you say you had a good and supportive program. And
Yes.
so pretty much, so you did your residency in internal medicine, got through with that, and you decided, okay, I want to go into pulmonary and critical care. Was it applying for a fellowship? How did that go for you?
It was good actually. So like what I forgot to tell you is like I mean actually we came together like my wife and I. So
Oh,
we
okay.
both we both were in medical school and then we applied
Awesome.
together.
So
So
were you all married before you came to the States?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay,
So
awesome.
we got married like 6 months like before we came to the US.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I was great and it was part of the I guess success we have had in all these years, right? Like because we came together and we supported each other. It's obviously way much better like when you have someone on your side,
Absolutely.
and with your same story too, right? Like and someone who shares a lot of things in common with you. Um, like the good things, but also like the struggles, right? Like with the language and all of those things, right? But yeah, so it was so we came and I started the residency, and during my first year, she applied to her residency, right?
Okay.
And we were very, very lucky and blessed that she actually matched very close to where I was training.
Okay.
So it was just like in driving distance, like a 15-minute or 20-minute drive.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't need like to split or anything like that. So that was fantastic. Yeah.
That was a blessing. It really
Yeah.
was, because yeah, it for you all to both come here and then having to live apart, in
Yeah.
separate states and cities, that would have been very difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yes.
glad that it worked out
Yeah.
for you all that way.
Yes.
So both of you being residents, how challenging did you find out that, working as hard as you worked in residency? Like, did it take its toll on you all? Like, how did
Yeah.
you all navigate that?
Yeah, and it's funny, right? Like because you always think like you are doing a lot or working a lot at certain age, and then 5 years later, you look back and say like, oh, I mean, it was easier on that time, and five years more, and they say like the same, right? Like so, I mean, it
Yeah.
always gets more and more busy and complicated. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, so we it was a really good phase in our life. Like again, like we were married, we didn't have kids yet. We knew that we were working like later in training and residency, right? Like and to your previous question, so I finished my residency also a year like before my wife, and
Yeah.
I took a position in as a hospitalist in the ICU in Philadelphia, which is like about like a 45-minute to 1 hour drive to where we were training.
Yeah.
And I did that in part to continue living together, but also in part to make my CV stronger for fellowship,
For fellowship.
right? Like and it were really good actually. Like I got like to the place where I really wanted to go. So like it paid off. Like the extra 2 years in like doing that work.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm guessing you said at that time you didn't have kids. I'm guessing the kids came later after
Yes.
training.
Yes.
Awesome. That's great. I mean, it really would have been challenging for anyone to have come in, like with both of you came in. And, I said everything with timing, you all made that decision to just hold off on that for a while and then get to a certain point where you could heave a sigh of relief before that. Also, how many kids do you all have now?
Now we have 2 kids, two
Oh,
boys.
awesome, awesome. That's exciting. So, can you think of any experiences that you had that you think may have, or anything you would have that may have prepared you better for the challenges that you faced when you came here? Like, what do you think you would have done differently?
Yeah. So as I told you initially, I'm first generation college trained, right?
Yeah,
So I saw that many of my friends who were coming here, they have already like the support or some idea of how things were here, right? Like so
yeah,
they were able like to do rotations. When someone wants to do residency in the US, it's way more difficult to do an observership or a rotation or a clinical rotation after you have finished your medical school,
Yeah.
right? Like, so if there's anything I would change was like to try like to do these rotations when I was still like a medical student.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. The other thing was the English, right? The language, right? Like to which also goes again like to coming earlier and experiencing how's the system, right? Like so again like my first exposure to the system was when I was applying to residency, and again like when you apply to residency, you show your best face and you already have learned some phrases. I mean, like they are very easy to remember, and like in conversations, it's kind of easier, right?
Yeah.
So it's very different that when you're doing already your residency or you're talking with your peers or your attendings. So it's way more different,
Absolutely.
right? Like so, to have a little bit more understanding about language,
A-
probably is a good
a-
tip too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So post, you're now at a stage you are a critical, uh, pretty much you're in the ICU right now. So,
Yeah.
how long have you been working as an ICU attendant?
So we're here in Dallas already for about 6 years and a half. And I was also in South Texas in the McAllen area for 2 years. So say like 8.5 years already. It's
Okay.
not any.
So, looking back at your experience from everything that you went through from your application and from making a decision to move here and the training, would you say that it was worth it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Well, if there's something I can tell you about, like in terms of decisions when you finish your residency and you still don't know if you want to continue for fellowship or not, right? So there's this situation when I finished my residency. Um, as I was telling you, I went to do hospitalists in the
Yeah.
ICU in this other hospital with thoughts to go and apply for fellowship. So, but I was already an attending. So, as an attending, you make more money, you earn more, and
Yeah.
your life is easier,
Yeah.
right? Like so. There's this thought about like, I mean, if you finish if you're doing your residency, apply immediately to the fellowship. I mean, otherwise you become an attending, and it's more and more difficult like to apply for fellowship, right? Like
Yeah.
because like again, like you may like I start like with kids already. I mean, you're getting older. I mean, like you
More comfortable,
are.
get more money.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, but I had like in my mind already that I wanted to be a pulmonary critical care. So I mean, it like all was like a preparation for the fellowship in that moment.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So I know based on your bio, you do other things right now. You've been able to branch out into other things other than medicine. I don't know how you find the time
Yeah.
with pulmonary care, but could you just shed some light into the other things that you've gotten yourself busy with?
Yeah. So we do a couple of things. Like so one of them is we love sports, right? Like so I run. I have participated already in 4 or 5 half marathons and lately in one full marathon.
Oh, wow.
We are in Texas, so we're big in sports, right? So our kids like play a lot of basketball and
Yeah.
soccer and football too. We also about like 6 years ago we started also in real estate,
Okay.
right? Like so they usually say like get a hobby that makes you healthier, or get a hobby that makes you also money, and get a hobby that is for the peace of mind or like enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
Like so we do sports, we do like the part of real estate, and we also like a lot to travel, right? Like so I mean like every opportunity we have, I mean, we try to go somewhere with the kids, right? Like because they are still like young, right? Like they are like around 8 and 11
Yeah.
or 12 now actually, and so I mean like we know that yeah we're still gonna be with them, but with time they're gonna go and do their own
Yeah.
lives. So we
Yeah.
still want to enjoy this time with them.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Wow. So, well, I'm so glad to hear your success story. And I'm glad that I'm sure your family are so excited at every step of success that they see you making,
Yeah.
and that you took that step to come to the United States. Now, if you had one tip to leave to someone that's listening to you, especially maybe someone from Peru listening to you right now, you had one tip to leave to them and they're about some stage in their journey, about to start thinking about it. What would that tip look like?
Yeah, no, and it sounds great. I mean, all the story, like I told, but again, like I mean, like it has ups and downs, right? Like I mean, it's not everything easy. I mean, there's times when you are not sure if you want to continue. I mean, like actually when I was applying like the first time, I mean, like I had worked like a lot like in getting like I mean all the capital or money like to apply and come to the US and do all these trips that they may not sound like a big thing, but for someone coming from outside or from abroad, it's very expensive and
It
something like
is.
it's big, right? Like so at some point, like I mean, like I was just thinking about like or not completely sure about like the decision to come to the US. But it's just like again, like it's just part of perseverance, right? Like and again, just to focus like yourself on what you're doing things for, right? Like in this case, for you, for your family, and for your loved ones, right?
Yeah.
So just to continue doing that, like maybe because at some point I had like the opportunity to stay in my country or even um a third of my year in medicine. So we used to go like a third stayed in Peru, a
Yeah.
third come to the US, and a third went to Spain, right? Like because they also have a residency over there, and it's easier like because it's Spanish, right? Like so
Yeah.
it's way easier for us. But again, like our focus and goal was here. So yes, it was difficult. I mean, like now it seems like everything is easier. But again, like we're just looking at the results 15 years later, right? Like so,
Yeah. But that's awesome. Well, like I said, I'm glad you also had a supportive spouse because that goes a whole lot,
yeah,
I think goes a long way in
yeah.
making sure that you also stayed focused. So thank you so much, Dr. Harry, for sharing your story with us. And if you don't mind, is there any way that if folks want to reach out to you, and on LinkedIn, are you on LinkedIn? Like, where can they reach out to you in case they want to ask any questions?
Yes. I mean, like I'll leave you my email here,
Okay.
right? Like, but also like I mean, if anyone is interested, like in real estate, we also have our website and all of that. The name is Nima Equity, Nima N as in Nancy, IMA Equity, and we have also our YouTube channel. So again, like if anyone is interested, just free education there for anyone. So
Okay,
we'll
awesome.
be more
And
than happy to share.
great. Thank you so much. And I will post those links down below. And also, if you have any questions, you can also join us at our Facebook group at Foreign MD. And then this episode will be posted on the links. And so you can ask as many questions. And I hope you got some valuable insight today. And thank you, Dr. Harry. I know that your story would definitely inspire and just leave a mark in someone else hearing it. And they would also be inspired by your journey. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, Eddie. Thank you so much for having me here.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please share, like, and subscribe to encourage a fellow physician who is also on this transition journey.